Welcome to the BartenderHQ.com podcast with me, your host David Eden-Sangwell, and on this week's show we are talking Flair. I'm going to be entering Flair competition for the first time in many years, and I'm doing a bit of a series over on our YouTube channel telling you about my preparations for that. But as usual, first and foremost, let's get into this week's industry news. The latest industry news from Bartender HQ. Now, the big news story that I really want to talk about this week on the show is about Wetherspoons, which is one of the big, huge pubcos over here in the UK, who are not opposed, let's say, to being a little bit controversial in terms of the things that they do and the way that they operate their business. So just recently they decided to delete all of their pub's social media accounts, and they deleted all of that kind of stuff, and they've been big supporters of Brexit and things like that. So Tim Martin, who's the guy in charge of Wetherspoons, is a really, really kind of controversial guy, splits opinion, let's say. So he certainly doesn't keep things to himself, but the news that I wanted to share with you today is essentially they have gone down the kind of Brexit line. Obviously the UK is leaving the EU early next year, and Wetherspoons are essentially going to spend a lot of their time and their money and their effort on moving a lot of their contracts to non-EU stuff. So yeah, the kind of big news here is they are going to be delisting two different cognac brands as well as Jagermeister. So these brands, essentially, they won't be selling French cognacs, and they won't be selling Jagermeister because it's made in Germany. However, they will be selling instead an American E&J Brandy, and they'll be selling Black Bottle, which is an Australian brandy, and they're replacing Jagermeister with something called Stryke, which is a UK-made kind of alternative herbal liqueur. So presumably the flavour's pretty similar, otherwise people are going to be quite weird about it. That being said, the picture that the Sun newspaper, of all people, has decided to use is of a Red Bull can next to a Jaeger bomb. Now, they haven't sold Red Bull for a really long time either, so this is the Sun's usual high level of journalism. However, they use Monster Energy drink, I believe, in their restaurants and I say restaurants, their pubs. They haven't sold champagne or prosecco for quite a long time. They sell English sparkling wine, and this has caused this huge amount of furore. They've also recently stopped dogs being welcomed in their pubs, which vaguely makes sense because they're kind of quite food focused, and obviously they don't want people tripping over dogs. Admittedly, they will obviously still allow assistance dogs and that kind of thing, but they just kind of, they seem to really not mind causing controversy, which is absolutely fine. They're a huge group, they're really quite influential in the bar industry, so they can actually do whatever they want. And let's be honest, none of us have the right to go into a pub and expect a particular drink unless they advertise that they sell it. And if they don't want to sell these drinks, that is absolutely fine. And if we don't like it as consumers, then what we should do is not go there anymore. That is, as I've said with a lot of other things, I don't expect businesses to do things that I would like. If they want to do things I like, then I will go and spend my money there. If they do something I dislike, then I will not spend my money there. To be honest, I don't think Wetherspoons sell a huge amount of cognac as it is. I don't think it's going to make any difference to their sales at all of brandies. I think there will be 3 fellas that probably go in there often to buy brandy who will be a little bit irritated and then try the other ones and say this is actually fine and it's going to be cheaper. So, I mean, let's be honest, nobody is going to really mind in a bargain basement priced pub that they can't get a fine French cognac. That's my view on it anyway. Other than that, the other little story that's caught my eye this week is that Conor McGregor has withdrawn his plans for a Notorious Irish Whisky that he was planning to release. So he announced on the 26th of August last year that it would be coming soon. I believe they've just given up on the idea now. So he's basically found that someone else, Seamus O'Hara, the founder of County Carlow-based brewer, has already got the trademark for Notorious, because they have a Notorious Red IPA. So they're not making it anymore. I'm not sure if they're going to continue looking into an Irish whiskey. He has been spotted at an Irish whiskey distillery, or at least at a distillery, in the past few months on Instagram. However, there's nothing else that's been kind of brought out. So we'll see what happens with that. But for now, Conor McGregor's Notorious Whisky is no more. The main course. So for the catch-up on Bartender HQ this week, you will have noticed by going to the website that very little has happened. That is because I have been concentrating on the YouTube channel. So if you head over to bartenderhq.com/YouTube if you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching it on YouTube, you're already here, welcome. This is where I've been focusing my efforts this week. I am entering a Flair competition, so we're kind of combining the main event in here as well this week. I am entering a Flair competition in just over a week's time. I will be throwing bottles around down in Coventry at Samoan Joes on Monday night. That's Monday the 24th, I believe. So yeah, if you happen to be in the West Midlands and you fancy coming to watch me throw some bottles around as well as introducing the rest of the competitors, please do that. But you can follow along with my journey to get into this bartending competition by joining us over on the YouTube channel, bartenderhq.com/YouTube. That will take you straight to our page. If you've not subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it. I really quite like doing the video stuff over on YouTube. It's good fun. And in the next day or so, I will be starting to put up some videos of me practicing. I need to get my music together. I've got to go into the city centre tomorrow in Birmingham. I've got also some interviews lined up. So I will be listening to some different music tracks, seeing what's going to feel right. We've already discussed going through the rules on one of the first videos. So we went into a deep dive, really just digging into the rules for this competition, so we know exactly where the points are, where we can score these points, and how to avoid making silly mistakes like missing out a drink which would cost us 40 points of a possible 300. So two drinks being made. There's one which is a Tuaca drink, one which is a Stolichnaya with cranberry juice and lime. So nice and easy drinks, and it's literally just a case of let's throw some bottles around, have some fun. Maximum of 3 items, which is great for me because I do not do much more than that at any point. But if you want to see me throw some bottles around, head over to the YouTube channel and you can see exactly that. In the coming week, I'm going to try to get a video a day put up. So don't expect a huge amount of activity on the website. I might throw some of them up onto the website as well. But there won't be a great deal of new stuff that's going on over there that's not already on the YouTube channel. So just manage your expectations a little bit there, guys. We will also, if you want to give us any questions about bar marketing, that was going to be our big focus for September. Obviously, this has dropped now, so I'm shifting my attention that way a little bit. We might do some more on the marketing in October. However, if you have any questions, do throw them at us via Twitter, which is at BartenderHQ on Twitter, and I will respond to any questions you've got over there, potentially make a little video response for you to your bar marketing queries. If you are trying to get the bookings in for Christmas, if you're trying to bring more guests into your bar for any reason, that's something that we would love to help you out with. So shoot us over your questions over there. This is going to be a mega short podcast today, but that's it for this week's bartenderhq.com podcast. Not going to keep you hanging around just for the sake of it. So guys, join us over on the YouTube channel and join my journey to becoming a Flair bartender again. Cheers guys, see you on next week's show.